or welcome back. Glad you're here. I've got quite a bit to show you. I got a lot done. I'm happy with my progress. I don't have any finishes, but today I even have some purchases to show you. I think I was stress shopping, so which is something I don't normally do. It's not, I don't really like to shop, so I don't know what made me do this, but I've got a few. So today we don't have a lot of sun. It's kind of overcast. My phone is pretty good at adjusting for lighting. So we're going to hope that you can see really well. We've got some thunderstorms coming in, so I'm not sure when they're going to be here, but it looks like they're coming pretty soon. So shall we get into the stitching? First up is kind of a bonus piece. I had some extra time one evening and I decided to pull this out. This is Snowflake Serenity. This is from the Christmas edition 2023 of Just Cross Stitch magazine. And here we go. So you can see I have a thread hanging. I'm not done. But I had done, the tree was done and everything over here, and I was finishing up this, and then I came across and worked here. So the tree is kind of the dividing line between two pages in the magazine, and so I wanted to get this done so I could just work one side, and when that's done, then pull out the other page. So here's where that is, and let's see, I'll put over my face the before. This is stitched on an 18 count Barnwood by Picture This Plus. This is Aida. And yeah, the original was stitched on white, and I just didn't feel that this is 3756, or no, 3753. And I didn't think that would show up very well. I wanted it to really pop from a distance, which is why I went with the darker fabric. Why did we do that? Okay, now my rotation now is to have a focus piece Monday through Thursday, Friday, Saturday work on something different. I spin for that, and then Sunday I have like another piece that I'd like to move towards a finish that doesn't have that much to do. So my weekend spin for the first weekend I was busy. So for last weekend I spun The Office. This is The Office. This is by Stitcharea on Etsy, and I'm stitching this on an 18 count Whimsey by Picture This Plus, and here's where I am. Now if you're wondering why I'm stitching on Picture This Plus instead of dyeing this purple myself, it's because I do add salt to my RIT, which will make it color fast, but you know, I don't measure my salt. So this I'm going to do as a pillow, and I want to make sure that this truly is color fast. And Picture This Plus guarantees well, I don't know if they guarantee, but their pieces are color fast. So what did I do? I added this. I outlined the bowl of ice cream. I added Boom. I finally put the top on that pumpkin. I backstitched this. I added the purple here, which says committee, so it's party planning committee. I had this red done, but I added the backstitch, and then I added the bottom. I added this. This is new, and that's pretty much where I'm working. I then added this and the heart. So this, I realized I had backstitched almost the entire thing, and I was putting in this last backstitch, and when I realized that was off by one stitch. So it's one stitch too high, which means the heart is one stitch too high. But I looked at the chart, it doesn't appear to do anything, to affect anything. So I'm going to leave it. So this is where it is now, and here's where it was before. And this is now at 38.12%. Just bring that in a little closer for you so you can see all the motifs. And yeah, there we go. And then, yeah, there'll be backstitch over that, but I didn't want to leave all the backstitch for the very end. I thought it might be a little too much and I'd get bored. So I'm kind of trying to do it a little bit at a time. So this will be a gift, and so that's done. Now this weekend I spun my newest piece. This is by Starlight. This is what it's supposed to look like, and I'm cropping it. So this is all that I'm stitching. And this is by Deanna Bach Art. I had to remember her last name. Deanna Bach Art. This is charted by UnconventionalXStitch. And I'm stitching this on an 18 count silver moon, which is just slightly not white. And here's where I am. Now I left it in the hoop because I'll be working on this some more today. So I filled in the shoreline here, added a little bit more, and then I've been working on filling in some of the water on that page. So let me put in a before. And this one now is at 2.42%. Sorry, I couldn't read my own writing. This is at 2.42%. So this is fun, and I'm finding that I'm not sure if it's the fabric color or if it's the fact that it's Aida, but I'm not really being bothered by these really light colors that are going in here. I'm able to see them quite fine, and it's not stressing my eyes, which I do have trouble with when I'm working with these pale colors on white. So I have another project that it's on an 18 count, no, it's on a 20 count even weave, and it just stresses my eyes really badly. Okay, so this next one is called Only the Lonely. Artwork is by Adrian Borda. I'm stitching this on 18 count, white Aida. This one is not Zweigart. This was Kato from Amazon. And I think they changed their, well, they did the last time. I'm not sure what they're selling now. But the last time I tried to buy it, they had changed it, and I didn't like it as much. Okay, this one is right here. So I've been working on this page. Now, this is one of the projects that I'm kind of doing a stair step of pages, and I'm working from the upper right across to the left. So that's 3 pages complete, and this only has 15 pages, so this will hopefully be done. This is one I would love to finish this year. I said this by Adrian Borda. Did I say this is charted by UnconventionalXStitch? So let me put in a before picture before I forget to do that. And this one's now at 19.92%. And yeah, let me show you close up. So this comes out every Sunday. So I'll have 3 more days this month to work on this. And I love this one. So this has, as I said, it's 15 pages. There's only 1 more page down here. So once I come down and get this page, I'll have found the bottom. So that one, you know what, there's a lot of confetti in this, but I'm thoroughly enjoying this. I don't know that I would ever want to do a max color, but for this one, I'm enjoying how it's charted, even though it has a lot of color changes. I'm not going to say it has a lot of individual confetti, but it has a lot of color changes. And yeah, so anyway, that one's fun. Now we get to my focus piece, and that would be, I worked on it Monday through Thursday. I planned originally to alternate my focus pieces so that I didn't get burned out on any one project. But for whatever reason, I was enjoying this, and I pulled this back out for the second week. So this has 8 days in it, and I didn't get as far as I thought I would get. We've had beautiful weather. It's been in the 70s, and you know, I've had the cabin fever from winter, so I've been out and about doing things, and this kind of took a hit. So here's Eyes of the Forest, if I haven't already put that up. And this is where I got to pull this back, where it is. And I've added, all right, let's bring this in. This right in through here has been done. This especially, when I show you the before and after, you'll see this. Now I've also added some blue, so I'm bringing this in on each side. There were a few blues that were on my needle and went into the eye. Other than that, I didn't work on the owl himself. And then I came down here and did a lot down in this area. So I'm going to pull this back. It's the only way I can do that, and put the before and now. So I think you can see there's quite a bit of difference here after 8 days. So I'm now at 63.5%. And yeah, I love her, him, whatever. I love this one. So this one I'm still hoping to have done sometime in May. But that was my focus. Now, because it got 2 weeks, it will go away until next month. So now we're into plans. And on plans, sorry, my voice just went. I will continue to work on Only the Lonely on Sundays. I will spin on the weekends. Now, for today, being Saturday, I still have one more day on By Starlight. And then I will be working on my one focus piece is Strength. And this is artwork by Nicolee Payne, charted by UnconventionalXStitch. And I just realized I didn't tell you what, hold on one second. The only one I forgot. So this is on an 18 count Aida by Zweigart that I dyed myself. So, yeah. Forgot to tell you the fabric. This is Strength, artwork by Nicolee Payne, charted by UnconventionalXStitch. I am also doing this one by stair-stepping the pages now. I am currently at 36.65%. And here she is. So I have gotten all the way across, so that's all the wider it will be. I'm currently working on, let's see here, this page right here, and I believe these are her braids coming down. I don't have much more to do there, so then I will work on this page below it. So this is another one I've kind of converted to stair-stepping the pages. And so this is my before, because I haven't worked on this yet, but so it'll be here and down here that I will work on now. So I had hoped to have this one finished this year. There's just too much to finish. So she will be a finish next year. And this is an 18 count Very Light Pewter by Zweigart, just one of their standard colors. And did I say this is charted by UnconventionalXStitch? It is. Ah, it's raining. And then my other focus piece, I spin for my 4th week. And this is Death in the Garden. This is what I spun. So you will see progress on this. This is by Megan Majeski. It's charted by UnconventionalXStitch. And I'm stitching this on the same fabric, 18 count Very Light Pewter by Zweigart. And here's the before. So here's where it is now. I have one. I want to say there's only one more page to reach the bottom. Could be wrong. I'm working on, I just started this page. So this is where I'll be working this week here. This, whichever week I choose to pull this out. But this month, this is where I'll be working. So, and as I finish that, you know, I'll come down here, I'll get more of this flower. And I believe down in here, I'll even start seeing her other eye. So I'm getting excited about seeing all those different things. You can see here, here's her forehead. So, you know, I am getting to her face. And I love how the colors are blending. And so those are a couple of the projects you'll see, and then you'll see whatever I do on the weekends. Okay, so now I have my purchases. So I went a little crazy. I don't know. I'll get into that maybe later. For right now, One of the things I decided I wanted to do this year is I wanted to learn to knit. Now I know how to crochet, and I'll even show you, I have a crochet project on the go. I just dropped my hook. And it's nothing to really see yet because it is stitched long and flat. So this will be a sleeve, and then this is the body. Here's what it will look like. And so you basically switch between a single crochet and a double crochet, and you switch between a number 5 hook and a 6.5 hook. So, and when it's all done, because you do this whole thing flat, see it's not very far along, you then fold the sleeves in and sew them together, and that's how you make this. I'm using Fisherman's Wool. This is by Lions brand. Where's the say Fisherman's? Yeah, right there. This is by Lions brand yarn. It is a pure wool, and so it doesn't come in a lot of vibrant colors, but this is something I thought would be very comfortable to wear in those end of seasons. So at the end of autumn going into winter, we'll have some days where I don't need a full coat, but I like to have my arms covered. And we get a lot of rain during those periods between fall and the start of winter, the end of winter and the start of spring. And Fisherman's Wool being a pure wool, it is water resistant. So it's one of those things that'll keep me warm on those chilly days, but it'll also help keep me dry on the other days. But anyway, as I said, I want to learn to knit. So I picked up a set of knitting needles and a set to stitch in the round to see what I like. I then picked up, I still have cross stitch, sorry, for whatever reason I picked up the knitting first. I picked up this, which is the basics on how to knit, and the illustrations are very good. Let me find one with the illustration. I'm somebody who doesn't do real well with illustrations, but you know, it's very well done. I do better by doing it rather than seeing pictures or seeing it done, but pictures I have a hard time with. And then I decided that, okay, if I master this, I want to know all the stitches. So if I purchase a pattern or something like that and it calls for a certain stitch, I will know exactly how to do that stitch. So this has 300, right? Yeah, 300 stitches. It includes lace and it has like numbers and alphabet, but I've got 300 stitches, so hopefully that's enough to be able to do whatever I want to do. And then I purchased some kits. So I purchased, I am a huge fan of Jim Shore's folk art, which looking at my art, looking at what I'm drawn to stitch, probably surprises you, but I do love Jim Shore, especially his Santas. I love his Santas. But I decided to purchase, I have 2 of the eggs, and I picked, or chicks, what are they called, chicks or eggs? Chicks. Okay, so I picked up this one. This is the white one. Yeah, this is the white chick. Trying to keep the glare off. So I picked up the white chick, and I picked up the blue chick. I love how the blue chick, I love the back on the blue chick. Of course, I love blue. And then, as I said, I love his Santas, and a couple of years ago, my daughter-in-law at Christmas time picked up one of his Mill Hill kits of Santas. And so I stitched that, and I thought I'd like to do another one, so I got the Santa with Cardinal. And the only thing I really hate about Mill Hills is the having to sort everything out. All right, and then I picked up an RTO kit. This is Swallows with Girl, and I've had this on my wish list for a long time, and it went on sale, so I picked that up. And yeah, so those are my purchases. That for me is a lot, if you follow me on a regular enough basis, you know that I rarely show any purchases because I rarely have any. I pretty much tend to think that I have enough. Um, and for example, my full coverage, you know, I have that I have all my patterns in Dropbox, and I only have 4 projects that I've purchased, 4 charts that I have not started. So it's not where I like to stockpile a lot, but for whatever reason, this month I went a little crazy and I went shopping. So now, if that's all you want to see is the cross stitch and the purchases and such, I'm done. If you want to know why I've been stressed, I've debated on discussing this, and I think what I'm going to do is try to just do this very short. As you know, I live in the United States, and as I think just about every country now has been affected by the change in our administration, our president. And there are things that have been done that have thoroughly stressed me out. I am first and foremost somebody who hates tensions between people. I'm fine if, you know, say on a one-to-one basis. I try to treat everyone kindly, and if somebody just doesn't like who I am, that's fine. That's no skin off my back. I know that I haven't done anything to harm them in any way. It's just we clash. We don't have the right personalities. But when, as a nation, when you have friends, and I grew up in Erie, Pennsylvania, which is right along the border pretty much. You know, if you could go right across the lake, you'd be in Canada. I've spent a lot of time in Canada, and I've met a lot of Canadians here in the States. I used to work retail, and they used to come across because Pennsylvania has some of the lower taxes. So, for example, in Erie, we charge a flat 6% tax on everything that is taxed. We don't tax food unless it's something like soda, and we don't tax clothing. So we would have at holiday times busloads of Canadians coming across and shopping in our stores. And, you know, I worked retail and got to meet a lot of them, and I loved it, right? So right now, I mean, Canadians have actually said, we don't even want to see Americans. We don't want to see you. And that bothers me. And the talk of taking land, you know, Greenland, Panama, Canada, making them the 51st state, that bothers me. I didn't live through a period of colonialism. You know, I grew up in the 60s. And yes, we had our tensions. But this idea of going in and taking land, and no, that's not me. But it also hits closer to home for me right now. A lot of projects are being cut. A lot of agencies are being cut. A lot of employees are being cut. We've got they're cutting medical insurance. We just have to wait and see what's going to happen with that. I'm 62 years old. I am disabled, and I rely on Social Security. I also rely on Medicaid. So when you hear them talk about cutting Medicaid, we pay for that. When our Social Security check comes to us, it is already shorted by the amount necessary to pay for our insurance. And it's about $188 a month that we pay for our insurance. So cutting our insurance, I mean, it's, you know, medical bills keep going up and up, and so you cut my insurance, how far are you cutting it? And even paying for deductible every month, we still, Medicare, Medicaid is a secondary program. but Medicare only pays 80% of what they approve. So let's say I have a medical bill of $100 and they say, no, we don't think it's $100. We think it should be, $60, and then they only pay 80% of that, and I'm responsible for the difference. But they're also talking about cutting Social Security. And so for me, they're trying to cut all programs that they call DEI. And DEI is just, what it is, it just simply says, if you have two people that are equally talented and can do this job, you can't discriminate because somebody is different. And that includes color, gender, disability. And what I've seen is every high-ranking female in the government is being fired. So females now, it looks like our country wants only white men. So if I lose my Social Security, if they cut that program, we're going to have seniors that are in nursing homes thrown out in the streets. But for me, it's, how do I get a job? If you're not allowed to hire people who are quote unquote different, and you don't want disabled, how am I going to get a job? So these have stressed me very much. So it's the tensions between countries, between our neighbors, the thought that we could be going back into war. My oldest son was in the military, and when you leave the military, you're told you can be brought back. So is he going to be brought back to go to war to take Greenland? I can't understand the why. Why you would stress everyone. Now, I get why they're doing it. They're cutting all these programs because they want to do tax cuts for the rich. They have so much money they'll never be able to spend it, these ultra rich. And so you're taking it from, and I heard somebody say this is the reverse Robin Hood, and it truly is. You're taking from the most needy. They've just canceled school lunches for kids. They've just canceled, I'm not sure, I know they're ending the Department of Education. So I'm not sure. I've heard a couple schools talk about it, a couple states. My state hasn't said much on it yet. So there's just, and I don't have kids in school, but I have grandkids in school. So all these things are just building for me. And for whatever reason, because it's not who I am or how I respond, I'm not somebody, I can go to the mall with someone and I can walk through the mall and I can watch them buy all kinds of stuff and I will buy nothing. I can go to, what I love to go to are handmade shops, right? And I love to look at the beautiful things people can create. But I'm fine looking at it and having that experience and not needing to take it home. So for me to shop, this was, and of course this isn't excessive. I mean, the Mill Hill kits they're all under $10. The Girl and Swallows, that was cheap. I think I paid almost $20 for that. So it's not, and the books I bought off eBay, they were used. I didn't spend a ton, but this still was unusual for me. So anyway, that's why I'm stressed. I guess I no longer do well with change, and there are too many changes that I see as negative. So if you're in the same boat, if you want to talk about how you're feeling, I welcome your comments. And you know what? Let's end on a better note. Spring is here. I don't think we're going to get any more snow. It looks like the lowest our temperature is going to fall for the next couple weeks will be in the 50s. My heat is off. It's beautiful. I'm waiting to see the trees bloom out there. They haven't quite started to bud, but I don't think it'll be much longer. And with that, I'm going to say, have a wonderful 2 weeks of stitching, and I will see you on the 1st. Bye.